be 300 kwacha, West Wing 150 kwacha, and East Wing 70 kwacha, 20 kwacha for North and South Wings. Don't miss out on this thrilling experience with a special appearance by His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Your story matters. ABSA.
Are your dreams on hold? Maybe that much needed home improvement, starting a business, upgrading your qualification, or simply taking that dream vacation? At ABSA, we understand. That's why we offer collateral-free personal loans of up to 850,000 kwacha. With a 7-year payment plan, now you can access more financial support to turn your dreams into reality. Let's help you write the next chapter of your story. Call 5950 for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics, and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
The news.
Good evening, my name is Imelda Chikwati to present the news on Sun FM Radio and TV. A U.S. government audit has revealed widespread theft of life-saving medicines and medical supplies intended for Zambians, with nearly half of the country's pharmacies allegedly selling stolen products. The 13th session of the Joint Permanent Commission on Defense and Security has raised concerns over the rising threat of transnational organized crime, cautioning that such activities could be leveraged by terrorist-linked elements to destabilize the region. Government has stressed that compensation for farmers affected by the Sino mining company acid spillage must accurately reflect the damage incurred to avoid dissatisfaction. Zesco United has set its sights on claiming the ABSA Cup from defending champions Red Arrows, with the first assistant coach Clive Hachilenza expressing determination to secure the prestigious trophy.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
A U.S. government audit has revealed widespread theft of life-saving medicines and medical supplies intended for Zambians, with nearly half of the country's pharmacies allegedly selling stolen products. Speaking during a press briefing, U.S. Ambassador to Zambia, Michael Gonzalez, disclosed that between 2021 and 2023, American buyers visited over 2,000 pharmacies and found that 95% of those selling U.S.-type medical products were also selling stolen goods. Ambassador Gonzalez added that alarmingly, 45% of the pharmacies were distributing medicines and supplies directly donated by the U.S. Government, while the rest were selling products originally funded by Zambia, the Global Fund, and other international donors. He revealed that the findings were shared with the senior Zambian officials in 2024, with a call for urgent action to curb theft and hold responsible parties accountable. However, Mr. Gonzalez expressed disappointment in Zambia's failure to demonstrate a strong commitment to safeguarding U.S. aid and protecting vulnerable lives.
From 2021 through late 2023, our buyers visited more than 2,000 pharmacies in every province and district of this country that sell the same types of products that the United States provides for free to Zambia's healthcare system. Shockingly, across these visits, 95% of the pharmacies that were selling the kinds of products that the United States provides were also selling stolen goods. Of those pharmacies selling stolen goods, 45% were selling stolen products that the United States had provided to Zambia for free for Zambians in need.
Additionally, the ambassador raised concerns about the prolonged forensic audit of the Zambian Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ABSA, citing a lack of transparency more than 6 months after its initiation. As a result, the U.S. government has announced a 1.4 billion kwacha cut in aid to Zambia's health sector, citing the failure to prevent ongoing theft of donated medical supplies funded by American taxpayers.
With a method and approval for not cutting this year, my goal is that the Zambian government will come up with the funding to budget and start the procurements to assume the purchase and the supply and distribution of the medications that are no longer going to be provided by the United States, so that the Zambian, that family in rural Machinga, when they go to the clinic, there is medication available. It won't be from the United States, but it hopefully will be from the Zambian government. They have the ability to do that. And again, I and my team are committed to working with a transition to make sure that the Zambian patients, the Zambian people who are relying on these drugs and medications, don't see a gap.
In a continued effort to enhance collaboration in defense and security, Zambia and Mozambique convened the 13th session of the Joint Permanent Commission on Defense and Security from 4th to 8th May 2025. The meeting, chaired by Zambia's Minister of Defense, Ambrose Lufuma, and co-chaired by Mozambique's Minister of Home Affairs, Paulo Chachine, brought together senior government officials from both nations. Discussions focused on political, socio-economic, and security developments since the previous session in Maputo, Mozambique in 2024. Both nations reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation, democracy, and the rule of law. Among the key concerns raised was the adverse impact of climate change, with Zambia experiencing severe drought and Mozambique facing cyclones. The Commission commended both governments for implementing interventions to address these challenges. Additionally, the session highlighted the growing threat of transnational organized crime, warning that such activities could be exploited by elements linked to terrorist organizations. Both countries emphasized the need for regional, continental, and global collaboration to combat security threats effectively. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo has stressed that compensation for farmers affected by the Sino Mining Company acid spillage must accurately reflect the damage incurred to avoid dissatisfaction. Mr. Matambo emphasized that government does not want affected individuals raising grievances over inadequate compensation. After reviewing the mining company's proposed compensation plan, he found certain aspects unsatisfactory and called for revisions before implementation. The minister urged the company to consider the broader environmental impact, including soil and water contamination, warning that such issues should not occur. He highlighted that farmers may be unable to cultivate their land for up to 2 years until the soil recovers, suggesting that compensation should account for this recovery period. Additionally, Mr. Matambo issued a stern warning to farmers attempting to claim legitimate compensation, cautioning that such actions could lead to legal consequences, including arrest.
Like they agreed to the compensation of crops, we will also agree, like we did yesterday, to see if what we told the officers is what it will be what they will have done by that time in terms of compensating them when it comes to the damage of the soil. So when everything is said and done, we don't want our people to complain. We want our people to be happy that this compensation is making sense. We also don't want some people are going to find their way because there's this going on, then they come and lie to say, I also had the field, in reality, maybe they don't have.
And the minister announced that President Hakainde Hichilema is scheduled to visit Copperbelt province tomorrow for a 2-day working visit. His visit will include the commissioning of the Kafulafuta water supply project in Masaiti district, a tour of the 28 shaft at Luansha mines, and an engagement with the people of Luansha. On Saturday, the president will serve as the guest of honor at the 2025 ABSA Cup football final at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium.
On a 2-day working visit. Tomorrow, Friday, I'm sure everyone knows that we've been talking about Kafulafuta Dam, which I've been talking about every other day. And everyone has been waiting for the day when this dam will be commissioned. I'm sure you know that he came to commission the pumping of water, and now he's coming to see the progress. Then from 28 shaft tomorrow, he will have an engagement with the people of Luansha.